that.
Okay.
So what's up, YouTube? Nick here for Simple Stocks. I've got Raghu, who's a contributor. We call him the ninja. He's a ninja of everything. What do you need? He's got it. Skills in everything. So we know charts, we know options. The team is amazing. Today is all about just getting a quick update from Raghu. We haven't seen him in a couple of weeks. Last show, we had Jim Cramer. Yes, if you missed it, you should go back and watch the video. We have Jim Cramer. He was here in person going like this. So he had a few smart things to say. And oh, Raghu, you're in trouble. No, so let's go. I'm gonna give him. Where did you go? Oh, there you go. So I'm gonna give him the floor. Him and his colorful screen. Take it away. It's all yours.
All right, Nick. Hey, sorry guys. Last week I was totally busy. A lot of things that were going on. But just to give you a very quick update on where we ended up today in the market. Now you see this all green, right? We are climbing a wall of worry. Okay. It was a strong day, strong close, strong finish. All across, we had a very strong finish, and I want to show you what is going on with regard to S&P. This is a 15-minute chart. Although, today felt really bullish. In fact, it was a range day to a large extent. We gapped up. It was primarily a range day. So if you had ICs, it made a lot of money. But I want to switch to a daily. This is a little bit of a complex chart, but if you look at it, this has a pretty decent harmonic that is playing out. We are extended a little bit. We are climbing the wall of worry. We are almost nearing the high of the year. Okay. What happens once someone climbs a wall is you're going to fall on the other side, right? So we could see a pullback. It is due. I don't think it can still come. We can, at the bottom of the chart, you see this line. Uh, Let me pull it up a little bit because our great scroll, it is scrolling up. So there you go. So you see that is one of my favorite indicators, which is the Leguer. It uses RSI. This is the RSI, and it can stay for a long time. So like, look at what happened in June, May of earlier this year. For a while, we continue to stay strong and we continue to climb. We can continue to do the same thing here. What we need to watch is there are a couple of indicators that are pointing low. You see these arrows? That tells me that we are due for a pullback. It can happen anytime, in fact, even this week. So that is what I'm looking for. So right now, what I would do is I would not remove any bullish positions for the longer term. Longer term, I mean at least on SPX till end of the year. We are in a very bullish phase of the market. At the same time, near term, I think you should have some hedges, especially if you have a lot of tech stocks that you potentially can, you want to make sure that you either take some money out or have some hedges. Few other charts that I want to show that is probably going to matter as far as the market is concerned. The first one is the dollar. Okay, um, dollar. If you notice, it's on a downtrend. Okay, and here are the levels I'm watching for the next stop to the dollar. I expect the dollar to continue to pull down. The next level is the on the Fibonacci. It is There is a level which is 102, and below that the 101.90. 102, 101.90 is an area where we can see a particular support of dollar. So that coincides with what can happen with S&P when you actually have a some kind of a pullback. So just be prepared for that. Uh, the other most important thing that is happening and that has happened this week is gold. I don't know how many of you have a position in gold or, for that matter, in silver. Uh, Gold is actually on a breakout. We are nearing, it is like if you look at the daily chart, um, let's let it refresh. Okay, so there you go. We are almost at testing the highs from earlier this year. We tested it once in March. This is the last year. We tested in March, and we are again coming to test here. Now, if we break out, this can go. I think my initial indication is that it can probably get to 2,100 plus. There is a strong demand on the spot bullion market, just so you know, primarily because of Chinese New Year that is coming up early next year. Typically, dealers they adjust their positions based on that. And this year, apparently, because of all the challenges that China is going through, there is a lot of, the retail investors in China or the retail folks in China are apparently buying gold for safekeeping. Okay, because that is one area where they can keep it in their homes and the government cannot touch it. So that apparently is one of the reasons why gold is actually going to go up and then test previous highs. Silver is mainly an industrial commodity, so it will move along with gold, or sometimes in conjunction. There is a gold-silver ratio that I also track, but primarily gold is focused on retail. India marriage season plus Chinese New Year coming up early next year. Those are the two catalysts. Any other stocks or anything that you would like me to speak, Nick? What do you think? Any particular?
I haven't seen any requests from them, but I want you to say something about. I saw a strange tick today, which was in the
Ah,
VIX. We had a huge spike in the VIX today.
let me show
You
that.
and I spoke about it. Um,
Yes.
it's not even a fat finger. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't match up. It's a weird number of 14.3.
Yeah.
I want to bring it up because it's like a
There
physical
you go.
reminder to
Look at that.
how
Look at
yes
that.
to how not worried the market makers are.
That
So
is a massive.
that
This
is
is a
that is
daily chart, by the way.
extremely unusual.
Yeah, this is a daily chart. And if you're looking at, it touched 14.3. The range is 14.3 to 12.8. Massive.
Yeah, and somebody's saying that happened around the auction for the bonds, which tells you what people are
Um,
trading. Never did they pay
Actually, I
that
don't
much
know whether it.
attention.
Yeah, let's see when it happened. It happened. Oh, there you go. It happened right around
10 o'clock our time.
9:45. 9:45 a.m. was not an auction, right?
Correct. 10 o'clock
Yeah.
your time and my time is usually when those auctions, maybe
Yeah, it was
11. It's
15
always a
minutes
round
before the
number.
auction. So
Yeah.
I have a feeling it could be some traders positioning for the auction before the auction. It was 15 minutes before the auction, and then the auction happened, and then it was a no. There was nothing there in that, so it basically collapsed.
Actually, Ragu, it happened exactly at the auction. I'm looking at it, 10 o'clock.
Oh,
That
there
was the
you go.
reaction
Yeah,
to the
it is
auction.
exactly. Yeah, that is right. Okay, I
Yeah,
thought it was
but what I'm
9:50.
saying is that
Yeah,
how the
yeah,
machines are programmed to trade these headlines,
yeah,
even though they're not that significant.
yeah.
So whether the auction was overbid or underbid by this much or that much is not going to change anything.
Yeah, there was not much news on the auction anyways today, so I think it was nothing much. So
Yeah.
let me finally, close out with the volume profile. So this is where we stand on the ES and NQ. Okay. Um, we are at the top end of the range. Let me remove some of these lines. Okay. So this is 30-minute candles, 90 days of volume. Okay. So if you look at it, we are currently creating a new balance area. So right now, on the ES, so let's see, we are still above. So we can come back to test 45, 67, 68. But where we are probably going to go overnight, and if Japan is actually going to intervene on the dollar, and if that happens where dollar actually continues to weaken, we can potentially see a gap up tomorrow morning. That is what I'm expecting. Okay, we will have to wait and see what happens after midnight when the VIX also opens up, and then see whether. In fact, today I think relatively S&P was more stronger than Nasdaq to a certain extent. But yeah, we are extended above.
Then
We are above the VWAP, and
the Nasdaq closed stronger than the S&P. In fact, after hours, the Nasdaq put in a higher
correct,
high than yesterday's high.
correct,
So
correct,
we have a high tick on the QQQ at 391.15. So
correct.
that matches yesterday's high.
Yeah.
So
So
you and
yeah,
I were
we
talking
could
about.
potentially, this is the way I think it could play out. Now, this is all speculation. I don't know what is going to happen to the market, but primarily we may go to test the yearly high, and that is when sell programs are going to kick in, and we may have a pullback. That coincides with
I'm,
probably,
I
even
still
the dollar.
I still don't think we go there unless we have a mega breakout in the IWM. I've never
Mhm.
seen that happen.
Yeah.
So the IWM is still lagging far behind. I would love it to see it a little bit higher today. It acted a little bit better than what it
Yeah.
was in the beginning. So maybe it shows some strength this week, and maybe we have some sort of a rotation. Here's the scenario: a dip in the QQQ here in the next couple of days, and it rolls into the IWM, so they can somewhat catch up, and then everything rallies after that if they want to break out. If we don't have any headlines,
Yeah.
anything new,
But
what's the
look at
bear?
it.
What?
In fact, uh, last week is when we actually set the yearly high. Okay, that is the November high, and it was also the yearly high.
Yeah.
And we could test again. We could go back to test there again, and then we can actually come back and then.
Yeah,
Uh,
I was thinking more of the
yeah.
all-time high. So the
Oh, all time
S&P
high.
is the S&P is lagging behind the QQQ or the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq already overcame its summer and is
Yeah.
trying to break out from summer,
Yeah.
and the S&P is a little bit behind. But then after that, if we break 460 in the
Mhm.
S&P SPY, the target of that 460 breakout is a new all-time high. So I
Yes.
don't know what they're going to do to stop that freight train, but
Mhm.
I wouldn't just blindly get on board.
Yeah.
You should be we
I think you're right. And I think having some hedges is always appropriate,
yeah.
especially if you're tech heavy.
Yep. So somebody's asking about Nvidia chart. I can answer you, Indy and Ani. I can answer you without even looking. So Nvidia is still inside of its earnings candle. So draw a box around that and trade the edges. Get long for short-term tactical trades in the lower end of it. Get the exit or short it at the upper end of it. I think it's stuck in that box for a bit. There's nothing I would do on an investment level for Nvidia right here. I wouldn't add two longs. I wouldn't go all in. I wouldn't even go long without selling a put to own shares lower because it's just too precarious. And it had the best of news ever, and there was
Mhm.
no pop. So the buyers are exhausted. Let's see them prove themselves
So this is
without
the
the.
15 minutes. So it looks like the harmonic is probably playing out a little bit. First stop is 478.50. Let's see if it can get there. And if it gets to 478.50, which is just another 30 cents, we could very quickly go here, 481. 500 is a massive sell zone. I,
So it could, on a 2 hour basis, I could see it getting to 504
yeah.
and maybe even 508 in the next couple of weeks. But that still keeps it inside the box of the earnings. So that's why I'm saying it's tradable inside that one candle from the earnings. It spans from 468 to like 510,
Mhm.
whatever that high was. So just 509. So trade that. So get long down here with stops tactically and get off after booking 20, 30, 40% profits in calls or shares, whatever you want. So that's the trade on Nvidia. It's just tactical ping pong inside of its range from the earnings until those edges break. So if they
Yeah.
lose the lower end, they might go down severely, like quickly, and it's going to slog breakout above that if it does.
Yeah. Nvidia, the biggest, there is very strong support on the 10-week moving average, which I track all the time because that is my signal for going, if I have a long position that is long term, anytime anything goes below the 10-week moving average, that is this white line that you see, even though it is a daily chart, I keep the 10-week moving average always in sight. And that is a very strong support. Nvidia has had that as a support for a long, long, long time. So if you notice, it has been always above the 10-week moving average. So I would look at that. Nowhere it has ever, for the last 5 years probably, it has never come back below the 10-week moving average. Where it dipped,
I
it
do
goes
have
back.
a caveat on that, but that's a longer conversation. You and I
Yeah,
will discuss that offline. So don't take that as a blind
yeah.
safety if you're at
I will
home.
leave it to Nick. Nick is much more strong, and I learned my.
Okay, we can build a class around that. Guess what? They're coming next year. More classes. Okay, we're out of time. What? We're
Good.
out of time. Oh my gosh. Where are the likes? We only have like 34 likes. Ragu, next time
Hey,
I'm
we
not
need a
having you,
bot.
my friend.
You know,
I am
you know.
not having you. Look at this. 34 likes. What?
Uh,
What? Give him some love. Give him some love. All right, folks. I
all
appreciate
right.
it. We appreciate it. Ragu, thank you very
Hey,
much.
thank
I
you
know
very
you had to
much.
run home.
All right. Thank you, guys.
And folks, subscribe if you're not members already. And the members, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Thanks for supporting us even after hours. After 9 hours, 10 hours, they want to do this. Great sesh. All right. I'll take it. Thank you. All right, Ragu,
All
later.
right. See you guys.
We out.